No. What is up, Fin fans? Yes, you could tell by that weird intro. It's my response to the comment of the title. No. But we'll get into that. I'm going to go into a full detail on the title. I'm going to go into a full detail on the fact that Fitz has been named the starter for week 2. I'm going full detail on everything, especially, we made some roster moves. I got a lot to talk about today, but before we jump into that, I got 3 new patrons, which whenever I get new patrons, it makes my heart warm to I can't even speak. That's how warm it makes me. We got 2 new patrons. We got John Guido. I think that's how you say his name. And Justin D, $4 patrons. And I have SNB. I hope I said your name right. $8 patron. You, good sir, become a mod. $8 patrons become mods. But thank you guys so much for joining. If you guys do feel like you would like to join the Patreon, get some exclusive content over on the Patreon and all this great perks that come along with it, it's linked below. Before we get into anything, I want to let you guys know, because a lot of you guys are saying, hey, how do I vote for the picks? It's linked below in the comment section. I'm going to pin it at the top, or I'm going to put it in the description. I think I'm going to pin it at the top of the comment section. So be sure to vote in the poll voting for the picks pinned at the comments. But let's jump into this. So this is essentially going to be a comment of the day video, right? Because after yesterday's absolute horrible loss, and I'm going to go into more detail because, my post-game video and a lot of the stuff I talked about, you get a little bit more perspective and you get a little bit more understanding and you see more when you take a day, take a breath. My post games, I give myself about an hour, and then come Monday, I give myself about a day, and perspectives change a little bit. So I'm going to talk about that. But first, the Miami Dolphins have released Jake Ruddick from the practice squad. They bring in undrafted rookie that was on Tampa Bay's practice squad before he was released when they put Josh Rosen on their practice squad. Reed Sinnett, like I said, undrafted free agent out of University of San Diego. So they're bringing him in, see what he could do on the practice squad. But that's that move. And let's talk about the fat of the matter. Is the Miami Dolphins season over after the loss to the New England Patriots 21-11? Is the season over? Do we suck? Is this the same stuff that we've always seen? Is it 2019 all over again? Is it, the world is coming to an end? No, it's not. The season's not over. There's still 15 games the Dolphins have to play. The season is not over. That being said, what from yesterday was disappointing? What from yesterday do the Miami Dolphins have to build off of? And what from yesterday was somewhat good? I guess you could say some positives taken out of yesterday. So let's talk about it, right? Miami Dolphins had a lackluster showing yesterday, right? Took a while for us to get the offense going. We didn't score. We only scored 11 points. Defense held the New England Patriots to only 21 points. We had that fumble by their wide receiver that we got the ball back, which in turn helped us march down the field, get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. All that great stuff, but there still was, the run defense was very bad. Well, I wouldn't say very. It was bad. It was just, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. It was bad. The offense, we had some great rushing going on with Myles Gaskin, but sometimes the block shedding was a little bit quicker than I'd like it to be. The passing, it was bad. The route running, the separation by the wide receivers, it was bad. The decision making by the quarterback, it was bad. It's a bad day, but the fact that at some point it was 14-11 and we still had an opportunity to come down and win the game and potentially tie it or win it, but the defense couldn't stop Cam Newton when you had how long to prepare for Cam Newton, it bothers me. It does bother me. And I feel the pain, right? I made my post-reaction video, and I feel the pain. Ton of comments, ton of people saying, we suck, we're horrible, fire Flores, fire Greer. I'm telling you, all different ends of the spectrum when it came to how you guys feel in the comment section. I had some people understand that we had 40 days to get ready. I had some other people want to burn it to the ground. tank for Trevor is some of the things I was hearing. I kid you not. After one game. So I'm going to talk about it. Right? I tell you guys this. Dolphins had 40 days to get ready. The Dolphins literally, new offensive coordinator, new playbook, all this stuff had to get ready. And you notice that. A lot of people were like, hey, I didn't see Xavier Howard out there. He played some snaps, but he was limited. Again, they didn't want to force him out there with the limited OTAs with 40 days. No conditioning. He was only off the pup for about 2 weeks. They brought him out. Byron Jones was out there. Nick Needham was barely out there. I'm going to talk about that. I don't understand those moves. Brandon Jones had a lot of play time. He had double-digit tackles for a rookie safety, which is nice to see. Limited snaps on certain people. Then we lost Devontae Parker, who was just, from jump, was doing his thing against Stephen Gilmore. Once he went out with his hamstring that he was dealing with for the last half of training camp, kind of put a little hitch in the play, because we all know Fitz loves throwing it to Devontae Parker, because you just got to throw it up to him. Devontae Parker's going to get it. And again, I will get to Fitz in a second, because I know you guys want to hear me talk about Fitz. Hey, did his opinion of Fitz and those 3 interceptions change? Did it change? Is he gonna say now that we need to start Tua? I'll get to that. You got to watch the video. I'm going to get to that. But so we had 40 days to get ready. It was a sloppy game. But if you look at the New England Patriots, they barely did anything on offense. They ran the ball, which again, defense, why you knew they were one-dimensional for most of the game. If you look at Cam Newton's stats, he barely did anything. And the Dolphins defense could stop the run. Just stop the run. Please. You know what they're doing. 4 wide, 5 wide. Cam Newton's back there by himself. He's going to run the ball. And he did twice, except for that second touchdown. Wasn't a touchdown. His heel was out. But that's here nor there, because it wouldn't have even mattered. I know Patriot fans, you can say, hey, it didn't matter. Yes, I get it. It didn't matter. It's an excuse, but hey, it didn't matter. So you say that, right? Hey, it's sloppy, but it's essentially preseason when it isn't preseason. But hey, Doug, all the teams are going through that. What makes these teams play better? Well, not all teams play better. Not all teams did well. Look at Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Yes, he threw 2 touchdowns, but he threw 2 interceptions. He didn't look great out there. I got a list here that I made, right? Look at the Green Bay Packers dropping 43 points on the Minnesota Vikings. 43 points on the Minnesota Vikings. We have the Eagles. They went up 17-7 on the Washington football team. Ended up losing that game, not scoring a single point in the second half. Jacksonville Jaguars came in and beat the Indianapolis Colts. Say what? I don't think any of us expected that, and I can show you proof that no one expected that, because you guys did the poll voting. Don't forget, poll voting is linked below. So you got Jacksonville beating Indy. Brady struggling. So again, some teams did struggle. Some teams did have a hard time with only having 40 days, no preseason, no OTAs, no minicamp, none of that stuff. You'll notice that the teams that were kind of good, the teams that were kind of out there being more aggressive, were the teams that didn't have a big changeover. The Buffalo Bills didn't have a big changeover. Baltimore Ravens, same team as last year. You got the Green Bay Packers, same team as last year. Run down the list. Jacksonville Jaguars, they lost players, but it was still technically the same team as last year. You'll notice that, right? It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a week or 2 or maybe even 3 for these teams. Watch, I bet you come week 6, the teams that people thought sucked week 1, week 2 are going to be like, wow, where did this team come from? It takes a minute. Now, me saying this is trying to tell you guys that the season's not over. It's trying to tell you guys to get off that ledge. It's a long season, my dudes. It's a long season. Going back to the game against the Patriots, and here's where we're going to talk about it. Here's where we're going to talk about what you guys want to talk about. Essentially, this is going to be comment of the day. Who was at fault for losing to the New England Patriots, right? Turnovers. 3 picks by Ryan Fitzpatrick. 1 pick. I will still go to this grave. If Preston Williams didn't fall, that wouldn't have been a pick. Going to the grave to that one. Nothing you could say changed my mind on that one. Second pick, 100% Ryan Fitzpatrick's fault. The man, you got to identify that guy in the middle of the field, the roaming corner/safety. You got to identify him. You threw it right into the man's hands. And I will say that the pick at the very end of the game shouldn't have been thrown, but it was a desperation pick. It was essentially, I have a minute and something left to get 10 points. I need to force this in here. Should he have done it? No. Was it a smart play? No, because we saw that there was other routes running. But it's a play he made. And then the flag should have been called, because if Gesicki didn't get mauled, he'd be able to get his hand up and either try to catch it or smack the ball, and it wouldn't have been intercepted. But all in all, yeah, the loss is on Ryan Fitzpatrick. The loss is on the defense. The loss is on the fact that these wide receivers, besides Jakeem Grant, couldn't get off their coverage, couldn't get separation. But if you want a percentage, I give most of it to Fitzpatrick, because going back and watching it again, he was missing some wide open dudes to try to force passes down the field and make big splashy plays. And look at his guys. He likes Gesicki. He likes Williams. He likes his 50-50 guys that he's just going to chuck the ball up to. But you had your Isaiah Ford, you had your Jakeem Grants that were open, slants and all that stuff. So yeah, a good portion is going to Fitz. But also, I'm giving a little bit portion to the defense. He needed to be able to stop. We were down by 3. If you made that stop, that last drive could have been for either a tie or the win, where it wouldn't have been forced, right? So a little bit on the defense, mostly on Fitz, because like I said, he was trying to force plays to make big splashy plays because he likes his 50-50 guys. Little on defense. I give it a little bit. I'm saying like a little bit on the wide receivers. Besides Jakeem Grant, everyone was having a hard time getting separation off these corners. It needs to be done a little bit better. The run game, it was working and then it stopped working. But yeah, if you want my God's honest opinion, most of it was on Fitz. And I'm saying it now. Yes, yesterday I talked about the last interception being a PI and the first interception being Williams falling. I'm still sticking with the first one. I don't care what you guys say. But yeah, after watching it back and after, looking at it again, he was missing some wide open guys. He definitely was, to force the plays to the guys he likes to force the plays to. Now, let's talk about the facts that he is named the starter for week 2 against the Buffalo Bills in Miami. How do I feel about that? Well, it's one game. I don't think they're going to make the switch. I don't think Brian Flores will make the switch after one game. So I expected this. I expected Fitz to start against Buffalo. Hopefully he can reel it back. Hopefully he can go into the film. He's a smart guy. Watch the tape. Notice, look, stop forcing plays to guys who are double covered or single covered just because you think or have seen them go up and get 50-50 balls. Stop doing it. So I expected him to start again, just to see what he can do. This Buffalo Bills game is going to be hard. I'm going to talk about the preview. I'm going to talk about breaking down the Buffalo Bills game. That's, you know how the schedule is. You already know. If he has the same game he had against New England, against Buffalo, I will call it now. I honestly think Tua will start against the Jacksonville Jaguars Thursday night. It's a short week, but Tua's been preparing since July 28th, and he'll have 2 games where it's not like he's tired. And that's the other thing we have to remember. Fitz, it does tend to get tired, and his arm strength and just himself. So if Fitz has another game like he did against the New England Patriots, Tua will start against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's my prediction. I'm confident on that prediction, but that's my prediction. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. I'm very interested to see what you guys have to say. But that, again, just to give a rough, review and a rough idea of how I feel about the season. Is the season over? No, I do not think the season's over. I think that there's a long, long season left to be played. I do think this team will get better. We've seen sparks throughout the game of good play. Kyle Van Noy making the sack/tackle for loss. Christian Wilkins getting back there, making the sack and also making a tackle for loss. Jerome Baker making his tackle for loss and having a very good day when it came to tackles. Brandon Jones having a very good day. I think that they need to incorporate more of these players. And I think once these players get more healthy, aka Parker, and hopefully, they're not so much afraid of Xavier Howard getting re-injured, and they're not being a rotation to try to keep guys healthy, you'll see players get better and play better together, especially the offensive line. The offensive line needs to play together. The offensive line needs to play against opponents together to get that continuity. Not having preseason hurts the offensive line more than anyone on the team. Same with the defensive line. So the more you see this stuff go on, you'll probably see the offense line get gelled together more because they were breaking off. Gaskins was doing his thing, breaking off big runs. So that's that to look at. It will get better and the team will get better. I still am sticking to my 8-8 record prediction. I still think they will win about 8 games, give or take. So there's that. Fitz, yes, deserves a ton of the blame. Yes, he should have made better throws. Yes, he missed wide open guys to force throws. I will admit to that, and I will stick to that. But I will not admit to if Preston Williams didn't fall, that's not an interception. So again, I'm not giving that first interception away. I will stick with that one. The other thing, running game needs a little work. Gaskins was doing his thing. I need to see Breda and Jordan Howard more incorporated and do more, especially with the amount of money they're making. Defense, I'd like to see more pressure. For the love of God, can we get more pressure? But there's more things that I'm going to talk about, especially when it comes to the Bills game, that I don't want to spoil here. But that's how I feel about yesterday's game. No, the season's not over. A lot can be done. A lot can be improved. And it will. It will. So be sure to comment below. I'm very interested in what you guys have to say about what I had to say. So be sure to comment below. Like I said, this essentially was a comment of the day because I had a lot of you guys talking to me. So I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say versus what you guys had to say yesterday in the post. Like, has your thoughts changed as well, just like mine? Like, after taking a second, sitting back, listening to everything. Because don't get me wrong, that loss hurt me. I didn't want to lose that game because the reason I didn't want to lose that game is the reason that I'm listening to all of these ESPN, NFL Network, everyone talk about Cam Newton's debut. Cam Newton did so well in his debut. Cam Newton this, I didn't want to hear it. So it hurts me. I get you guys' pain and I feel it, but the season's not over, guys. It really is not over. So be sure to comment below. Other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm very active on Twitter. I tweet you guys back a lot on Twitter, especially this Sunday. I'm not going to be live streaming this game. Unless you guys really want me to live stream this game, then I might. So be sure to comment below. Let me know if you do. But I'm not thinking I'm going to, but I'll be on Twitter, very active on Twitter, tweeting and talking about the game. So be sure to go over there, check that out. Check out Fan to Fan Network. It's a great site that I'm a part of. I'm the Miami Dolphins ambassador. They do Twitch streams right before all the games. So be sure to go and check that stuff out. Also, be sure to check out my second channel, The Bit Boys. I haven't said this in a while, but I have a gaming channel. So be sure to go over it, check that out, see if you like it. If you like what you see, all the humor and all that stuff, be sure to subscribe to that. Other than that, I will see you guys Wednesday, unless news breaks, with the picks video. Like I said, be sure to go and vote. It'll be pinned as the top comment. But other than that, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I feel your pain. We all feel each other's pain. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.